Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'm Akila Reza binti Muhammad Azmi. I will present the iteration of the experiment capture from group 10. As an evidence, about 4.3 million individuals died from the household air pollution, while 3.7 million from ambient air contamination, the majority of whom live in the Asia. In Iran, as a creating nation, the degree of air contamination has increased gradually since the start of industrialization in the 1970. However, it has arrived at a hurtful level in a few megacities, example, Tehran, Tabriz, and Karaj over the past 2 decades. Air contamination is a worldwide health hazard with genuine public health implications, especially for kids and seniors. Air contamination includes all contaminants found in the air, gases or particulates and particles of organic sources. According to World Health Organization (WHO), there are many pollutants of suspended materials such as dust, fumes, smoke, mist, gases, pollutant, hydrocarbons, volatile organic, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon, and halogen derivative in the air, which at a high concentration which can cause vulnerability to many diseases, including the different type of carcinogen. Yes, moving forward. Pollutant can be classified into a primary and secondary. Typically, primary contaminants is a straightforward delivered from a cycle, as example, ash from the volcanic eruption, the carbon monoxide gas from a engine vehicle, fume or sulfur dioxide delivered from an industrial facility. Secondary contaminants are not produced straightforwardly. It forms in the air when primary pollutants react or interact. A few contaminants might be both primary and secondary, which both produce straightforwardly and form from other primary sources. Next, the long-term impacts of air contaminant on the beginning of sickness, such as respiratory infection and inflammation, cardiovascular disinfection, and carcinogen is broadly accepted. Thus, air contamination is contributed with the highest number of deaths globally every year. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Akmal Hisham bin Shamsuddin. Today, I'm going to present my part for this experiment, which is discussion. Firstly, we need to know our objectives for our experiment. First, demonstrate that air can be clean or dirty. Participate in simple science experiments that show pollutants inside and outside house. Understand how human activity has an influence on the environmental. Lastly, understand the effects of ozone pollution and become aware of how it is formed. Here are our results that we obtained after 1 week we left the paper plate inside and outside the house. All of us obtained that the pollution catcher inside the house more cleaner compared to the pollution catcher outside of the house. It is because for the outside paper plate, we can observe that many tiny black pollutants stick on the pollution catcher. So, the quality of the air outside of the house dirtier compared to the air inside the house. Here are the sources that might be the one that made our air to become dirty. For Akila and Sarah, the sources that may influence this experiment are open burning and gases that release from the transportation that pass by the house. While for me and Amir, the sources that probably make our air to become dirty are factory, car or motorcycle workshop, open burning, and gases that release from transportation that pass by our house. These are the components that might be inside our dirty air. Carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a colorless and odorless gas, which is produced by fossil fuel, particularly when combustion is not appropriate. The mechanism of such toxicity is the loss of oxygen due to the competitive binding of carbon monoxide to the hemoglobin groups. Thus, the reduction in ambient carbon monoxide can reduce the risk of myocardial infarction in predisposed persons. Next, sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is a colorless and highly reactive gas and mostly emit from fossil fuel consumption, natural volcanic activities, and industrial processes. The major health concerns associated with exposure to high concentration of sulfur dioxide include respiratory irritation and dysfunction, and also aggravation of existing cardiovascular disease. Lastly, nitrogen oxide. They are mainly emit from motor engines and thus are traffic-related air pollutants. Coughing and wheezing are the most common complication of nitrogen oxide's toxicity, but the eyes, nose, or throat irritation, headache, dyspnea, chest pain, fever, and pulmonary edema may also occur. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sarah Bilam Rashid, and I am going to explain to you about the conclusion and the recommendation part of this project. Pollution is known as the most prominent and also a dangerous forms of pollution. Many reasons have contributed to the pollution, such as excessive burning of fuels, which is a basic requirement of human necessity. This has caused huge number of chemical elements to be released into the air every day and are the actual reasons of air pollutions. So in conclusions, air pollution has affected most cities across the world. Through the project, Vaseline that have been used was designed to collect air particles, and some of the particles collected are made up of dust, soot, smokes, and other chemicals that are being inhaled. The results can be various depending on the places of the air pollution was placed. There are a few ways that can be applied to reduce the air pollutions. Some are the usage of electrical transportations. This will lower the number of chemical released into the air due to no fuel being burned to run the car. Several measures can also help to control the dust in indoor environments. Filters remove large particles, so keeping living areas dry and well ventilated also help limit the growth of molds and dust mites that feeds on molds. Eliminating curtains and other dust-holding materials may be necessary in some cases to control allergies in susceptible individuals. That's all for me. Thank you.